I'm Tim Paisley, consulting psychologist, and I have a couple of minutes to talk about another application of the database that we've developed here. In this particular case, student ChartShare. It's easy to overlook that JRC has 110 students currently who are able to count their own behaviors. And of that group, we've had 84 of our current students participate actively in ChartShare, and I'm going to briefly describe that to you. The student ChartShare focuses on three types of charts that we can prompt students to share from the database. One is the behavior charts that you've had demonstrated to you. Second is their own self-management charts, and I'm going to be showing an example of that. And the third is their academic chart. And we're particularly pleased with that because that gives them an opportunity to look at both acceleration and deceleration, to look at acquisition as well as reduction targets. And it's an opportunity for us to teach them some principles of behavioral psychology. We have about 10 to 20 students a week who will conduct the ChartShare. We prompt them through it, and students who know nothing about charts, nothing about behavioral psychology, and literally prompt them through the process. We have quite a number of students, as you may have seen at the convention, who do in fact achieve fluent presentation of charts. Here's an example of the database application that a student is entering their counts into. In this particular case, it's of tick behaviors, and the student is entering a daily count, and in fact the database gives color-coded feedback. It's red and green depending on whether she's meeting her aims for that particular day. Student then clicks on a tab, and the software will display a chart similar to the ones that you've seen previously, except in this instance it's a student self-management chart. The student has taken her own behavior counts, and this is a count displayed as a chart. We prompt the students to read the chart from left to right and pay attention to trends in their behavior and not simply the high and low points. We also prompt them to enter phase lines for significant life events and program changes that could affect the behavior. If they try to implement a self-management plan or self-control procedure, we phase line that. And we teach them something about chart bounce as well. Here's an example of a student academic chart. We find this particularly useful because it's a convenient way of displaying the effects of practice. You can see here, for example, that after a lesson is introduced, student practice will improve performance, and that's quite a useful principle to demonstrate to them, to encourage them to practice in other areas as well. Here too, we prompt them to read from left to right, to notice their progression across the entire curriculum, and to pay attention to how their behavior, in this case their acquisition of skill, is lawfully related to practice and to the graded nature of the lessons. So overall, the objectives for us are to teach them some principles of behavioral psychology, to teach them to return their attributions of causality to the environment where it properly resides and not to make internal attributions quite as frequently, and also to evaluate any efforts that they can bring to self-management. Thank you very much. Introduce Rob Duquette, who's the Director of Human Resources.